So if you have a block, we'll take that in between your ankles. And any edge of the block is perfectly fine as long as you feel comfortable sitting on your heels. You want the heels to go just to the outsides of the hips. If you'd like, you can even split your calf in half so that you have a little bit more of a seal. If that's uncomfortable, certainly Sukhasana, just cross-legged position, is also fine. And then rest your hands comfortably in your lap. I like to do one hand under the belly, the other hand on top, and the thumbs touching. This is called Dhyana Mudra. And then just close your eyes for a moment and settle in. Take a moment to shift your awareness from an external orientation to an internal one. And while you do that, you can align the spine just a little bit more by slightly absorbing the tailbone into the body, lifting and pulling the heart forward and up through the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to soften away from the ears, chin in, and lift through the back of the skull, the crown of the head. And then while you feel that elongated spine, take just a little bit of the effort out so that just the structure, the bones are stacked, the spine is in alignment, but it's effortless. And just notice the energetic shift from sitting in more of our typical slouched or poor posture position to coming into alignment. How does that change your inner feeling, the quality of the body, the mind, and even the breath? And then begin to watch the rise and fall of your abdomen. And please make the inhalation and exhalation both smooth and even. So smooth abdominal breathing cues the nervous system to calm and to relax. When we mention smooth breathing, it's not just smooth in the transition from the nostrils into the diaphragm, but also just that the inhalation flows right into the exhalation, which flows right into the inhalation. So we eliminate any holds at the top and bottom of the breath. Now, once we get that nervous system to shift, and you can feel that internally, we're actually going to change the breathing pattern today. So on your next inhalation, feel the breath come in through the nostrils. Fill the chest first, then the rib cage, then the belly. Again, still smooth breathing. So then the belly draws back to the spine, rib cage draws closer together, and the chest softens. The breath leaves the nostrils. So now we're filling from the top all the way down, and then emptying from the bottom back up and out. And as we do that, we pull the navel in and slightly up. Now, if you're paying attention to your spine, notice that on the inhalation, that there's just a little bit of a reduction of the thoracic curve. Chest spreads a little bit more, get a little taller through that top portion of the spine. And on the exhalation, as we draw the navel slightly in and up, we'll notice there's actually a little bit of a lengthening of the lumbar spine. So a reduction of the lumbar curve. And all of this is sort of straightening out the spine and finding maximum length. In that space and length, maybe finding a little bit room to deepen the breath. And a few last rounds here. If you haven't added in Ujjayi, bring that soft ocean wave or whisper type sound in as well, just to have the mind truly focused on the flow of the breath. Good, and then when you finish this last one, lower your chin to your chest and bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment just to feel the elongated spine. And we're going to be working with the Samastiti category of asana today, the extension of our spine, creating as much space and length in it as possible. And we understand that just relieving the pressure off the discs relieves the pressure off the nerves, and therefore allows for more optimal functioning of every single organ that those nerves innervate. So if there is anything that you would like to add to that intention, perhaps something physically that you've been experiencing within the spine, or even mentally, emotionally, this idea of expansion and growth and maximum capacity, then bring that into your intention now. And then place that in your heart. We'll surround it with unconditional love. And begin with the chant of Om 3 times. Again, here too, we want that vibration to go from the base all the way up to the crown, and see that even the vibration itself resonates within that central channel, creating more height. Deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out. Good. One more deep inhale in. Gently lower your chin to your chest. Take a moment to gradually open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. So we'll come off of these knees for just a moment. Give the legs a break. I'll just place your block to the side. Bring your hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet pressing firmly into the earth. We're going to extend right leg back. You can do a little bit of a bounce here. So just press gently through that heel. And just let a little blood flow go back in there, and then switch legs, tuck the left toes under, a little bounce there through that heel, pumping the blood in the legs. And move back and forth a few times until you really feel blood is flowing evenly again. Good. And once that feels good for you, you're going to inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. On your exhalation, really aim to pull the navel in and slightly up, drawing it toward the back body, and then slowly take seat to heels. Keep those elbows slightly bent as you come down, squeezing them toward the midline to widen the upper back. Inhale, come back up into tabletop position. Allow the heart to lift, sit bones lift. Keep a little lift in your lower belly to protect your lower back. And now exhale again. That navel draws deeply in and up. Round the spine. Take the seat to the heels. Bend the elbows. Squeeze them slightly toward the midline as you come down. Okay, so with that smooth, even breath, again, inhaling. We'll do 4 more rounds here. All the way to the base, and then exhale, back up and out. And to the best of your ability, try to visualize the breath moving along the spine. Ujjayi breathing here. Pull the heart forward through the shoulders, and then really create a relationship to the navel as you draw it in and up to the back body. Good, last 2. And then on this last one, we'll stay down in child's pose. So take your time to head back there. And once you're down, walk your hands as far forward as they'll go. Come up onto your fingertips for a moment and let your heart dip through your shoulders. So just again, that reduction of the thoracic curve. See if you can hug the shoulder blades in and down your back. And now we'll walk our hands over to the right side. Let the left sit bone bow. Feel that breath move deeply into the left lung. Keep relaxing the tops of your shoulders, so no gripping there. And we're just flooding that left side of the body with prana and oxygen. And then move to the other side and do the same thing. So we're going to walk to the left, bow the right rib cage this time, and send the breath into the right lung. Notice on the inhalation, the expansion, and on the exhalation, still engaging the navel in and up. Good, and then come back to center. Once again, we'll bring the hands under the shoulders and sit on the heels, and knees will be together, just sitting directly on the heels. You can modify with the block if you feel that you need to. So hands are going to start on the sacrum. Inhale, take your right arm up in the air, stand on your knees. Exhale, come down, navel to the spine, just come down about halfway. So you're going to be at a slight diagonal here. Pull the belly button toward the back body. Inhale, rise back up to standing on the knees, arm overhead, and then exhale, seat to heels, bring your hand to your sacrum. Let's do the other side. So inhale, stand on your knees, left arm reaches up. Really feel that extension through the left side body. Exhale, hug the navel towards the spine. That's why we're only coming halfway down here. We have to engage the musculature. Inhale, rise back up into standing on the knees, and then exhale, go back, left hand to sacrum. So we're going to repeat that sequence. Inhale the right arm up, elongating the right side body. Really feel length through the spine. Exhale, maintain that length. So think of a straight line from the back of the neck all the way to the tailbone. Inhale, come back up, standing on those knees. And exhale, hand to sacrum, seat to heels. Other side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale. Notice that engagement of the abdomen. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, come down. Now you can repeat that one more time, or if you'd like, you can try to bring both arms in alignment with the ears, elongating both side bodies. And then it's a little bit more difficult here with both arms over the head. So feel yourself coming down halfway. Try to maintain that straight spine as best as possible. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, both hands come down to the sacrum. And again, we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, navel hugs the back body. Chin is in. Inhale up. And exhale, sit on the heels, hands to sacrum. Good, one more here. We're gonna inhale, rise up together, arms overhead, and now see how long we can come down, taking your time to really hug that navel in to the best of your ability. If you can, try to get the chest to touch the thighs before the hands come down, and then rest in child's pose again. Nice, inhale the tabletop position. Heart lift, sit bones lift, and exhale, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. So if you need to move in the legs a little bit here, bend one knee, press the other heel down, and bend the other knee, and press the other heel down, and just kind of go back and forth a few times, whatever feels good to open up the legs. Eventually find your feet hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back, allow the sit bones to spread and really lift that tailbone up and back. Now think about reaching out of your waist. How much space can you make? And really press into your hands to encourage that elongation, but you can roll your shoulder heads away from your ears, hug your inner elbows toward one another to support the upper body. Now go back to that smooth, steady breathing we were doing at the beginning of the practice. And for those of you that are a little bit more advanced and you have some comfort around retention, you can take a full, complete inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Take a full, complete exhale, belly, ribs, chest, and then pause at the bottom of exhalation and engage the navel deeply in and up, lifting the pelvic floor as well. So Mula and Uddiyana Bandha for a moment with the breath held out. And then you'd inhale again, chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, you'd empty completely, belly, ribs, chest. And just at the bottom of the exhale, take that moment to pause and engage, navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, pelvic floor lift, Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. We'll do that 3 more times. Otherwise, stick with even breathing. Feel that emptying out sensation, hollowing out as you engage the bandhas. And then lower your knees to the floor. Sit tall on your heels. And once again, just rest. Rest the hands in the lap. Let everything settle, but do keep the eyes open. Soft gaze here. And feel the spine. Notice the length, the space. Notice maybe some of the warmth. And that practice of engaging the abdomen is really to create that relationship there, because when we engage the abdomen, we support the spine. If the spine feels supported, then it's naturally going to lengthen. So one more breath here. Very nice. So we'll come back just briefly into tabletop to downward facing dog, and then step forward to the front of your mat and find standing forward fold so you can have the feet hip distance apart. Little micro bend in the knee. Take your hands onto the back of the legs and just a few times rub down from the glutes to the ankles and go back to the glutes and come down again. So just a couple times like that to open up the back of the legs. Really soften here. As you let the chest rest on the thighs, let the head and neck be heavy so that it provides traction for the spine. Good. And then you can either hook the index middle thumb around the big toe or keep your hands on your shins. On your inhalation, you'll pull your chest away from your thighs, straighten arms, straighten spine. To the best of your ability, straighten your legs. And then exhale, hollow the belly and fold back over. So if you have the bind on the toes, bend the elbows out wide. Good. Again, inhale, pull away, monkey pose, extension, create as much room in the spine as possible. And then exhale, hollow the belly out, pull the navel in and up, and fold more deeply over the legs. Good. So you can do this with a micro bend the whole time in the knee if you need it. Inhale, continue to come forward. And exhale, Coming back down into the fold. So let's do 4 more like that, please, with your breath. Chest, ribs, belly on inhalation creates maximum length. Belly, ribs, chest on exhalation. Maybe each time feeling like you could gain just a little extra space. And remember, you're pulling forward with the sternum. It's the chin that will lift slightly at the end, but it's the work is being done in the torso. Good. Last one here. Now we're going to stay in the forward bend. If you can grab onto either elbow, just provide some traction here for the spine, the heaviness of the arms. And then again, you have to release the head and neck so the crown points towards the earth. Trust that your legs and feet are going to hold you. Feel the inner foot just as much as the outer foot. And do bring a little bit of your weight forward into the ball of the foot. We have a tendency to want to sink in the heel. So we really want to be balanced right in that center of the arch of the foot, just like a bridge. It's the most secure part there in the center. And now keep breathing. Same pattern. This is one of those rare times when you can let the shoulders kind of come up by the ears because we're looking for that heaviness in the upper body. Think of the energy or quality of a sigh with each exhalation, completely letting go. Last one. Nice. Now, we'll bring our hands to our hips, and you're just going to come halfway up. So micro bend your knee, lift your chest, and just come parallel to the earth. And we really want to do that so that we're engaging those spinal muscles, creating that maximum length, and we want to remind the muscles to be nice and engaged as we come back up into standing. And then as you slowly rise up into Samasthiti, just feel that you're completely supported. Arms by your side. Take a moment just to rest and either eyes closed or soft gaze. Observe sensation. So we mentioned that as we extend the spine, we are relieving the pressure off the discs and bringing more information, more clear information to the nervous system. But same thing too in the pranic system, in the subtle body. When we create space, there is room for prana to flow through the body. And as energy moves through the body, we have more health. It can reach into all those tiny crevices. Last breath here. Okay, so at the front of our mat, we'll bring our big toes to touch, space between the heels, just classic Surya Namaskara A. So inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Hand on the shins or floor, but flat back. And then exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank. So first round we'll modify, bring knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight. Chaturanga, tops of the feet come down. Inhale, cobra, elbows and shoulders pull back. And then exhale, navel up and back to lift you to downward facing dog. We'll take 5 breaths here. So down dog has a lot going on in it, but really at its best expression, it's an extension posture. Continue on each exhalation to take the abdomen in and up. So even though we're not retaining the breath here, we still get that hollowing out feeling in the belly. Last one. And at the bottom of the exhalation, come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale right into monkey pose, flat back. Exhale in forward fold, navel in. Inhale, arms out wide as you lift and rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale, hands to heart. That's one round. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach. Extension. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. This time, if you want to leave knees lifted for chaturanga, go ahead. Elbows in. Inhale, cobra, or if the knees are lifted, upward facing dog. And then exhale to downward facing dog. We'll take our 5 breaths. Hollowing out that belly. Best of your ability, try to maintain smooth breathing. And at the completion of your 5th breath, balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands. You can step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale, straighten the spine for monkey pose. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. All the way up, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, step or hop back to plank position, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. So starting to feel some warmth building in the body. Utilize that warmth, creating more space. Deepen your breath. Last one here. Rise onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look at your hands. Step or lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Extension, slight back bend, and exhale, hands to the heart. Once again, Samastiti will take rest. Observe yourself breathing. Smooth inhales, smooth exhales. Good. Bring your left hand to your hip, weight into your left foot. Grab onto the right foot with your hand, and then draw your knees toward one another. Draw the heel towards the glute to the best of your ability. And now breathe here. Think of that tailbone absorbing into the body. Imagine a zipper in the front of the body, zipping all the way up to the crown of the head. So you're just getting longer and taller. Steady your gaze. Floor gazing is a little easier than horizon, but if you can get to horizon, that's great. One more breath here. Now bring your knee up into your chest, hold on to your knee as high as you can for a moment, and then place that foot to the mid-thigh, hands to prayer position at the front of the heart, and then sink back into a modified chair. So in this modified chair, you're allowing those sit bones to move way back behind you, allowing that external rotation of the thigh and of the hip flexor, hip rotator, excuse me. So allowing that rotation of the hip rotator. And then you're going to pull your sternum forward away from your pubic bone. So you're maintaining that length in the spine. 2 more breaths. Keep freeing up space in that front body. And then come up to standing. Inhale and exhale. Soften. Samastiti. Okay, we'll try the other side. So weight into your right foot now. Grab onto your left foot. Once you hold the foot towards the glutes, pull your knees together. And then now think of taking that tailbone deeply into the body while you're lifting the front body, the zipper from the pubic bone all the way up to the crown of the head, growing as tall as you possibly can. Breathing here, steady your gaze. And then you're going to release. See if you can keep the knee lifted. Hug it right up into your chest as high as you can. And now take that foot to the outside or middle part of the right thigh. Hands into prayer position. And then sink back as if you were about to sit back in a chair. So glutes go way back behind you. And then we have a tendency to want to round the upper back here. So don't do that. Instead, we're going to create that same extension we felt in monkey pose. Sternum moving away from pubic bone. Chin in slightly, that straight line from the back of the skull all the way to the tailbone. And remember your breathing pattern, so chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. One more. Good, rise up to standing. Slowly find samastiti. Let everything settle and feel that rush of prana coming into the body. Beginning to free up areas where it was stagnated or there was chronic contraction inhibiting its flow. Okay, we're still at the front of our mat, so hands to hips. You're going to step your left foot back just to about 3.5 feet, heel to heel alignment. We're going to go slightly longer than we typically do for pyramid pose. Bring the hands out in front of you, palms together. You're going to bend into the front knee, move into back bend here, so slight opening of the heart, warrior one with the arms wide. And then exhale, now pull your abdomen towards your back body and close the book, straightening the front leg. Good, inhale, bend into the front knee. Open wide. Exhale, pull the abdomen towards the back body and close the book. And really the slower you go here, the more you're working. Gaze is very steady. Exhale, close. 2 more. Last one. Good. Release the hands back behind you and interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles down towards your back leg, open your heart, and now bend your front knee and let your heart flourish open. So really reach it towards the ceiling. Feel all that space in the front body. Now really engage that lower abdomen in and up so we have support there. Gaze up if it's comfortable, otherwise take your gaze to the horizon line. If you are looking up, make sure you're not collapsing the neck. You don't want to collapse, just keep a little lift there. Pull the collarbones open, breathe deeply here. And now fold your chest on the inside of that right leg. Let the knuckles continue to move up over the head. Head and neck is relaxed. Just breathe here. Pull right hip back, left hip around. So we want to make sure those hips stay square. One more breath. Now releasing your hands to the floor, fingers on either side of the foot, straighten the front leg, and now melt into pyramid. Melt into the forward bend. Head and neck is completely relaxed. Let gravity do the work for you. In the legs and feet, you're pushing the ball of the front foot away from the back heel, squeezing the inner thighs toward the midline of the body. Make sure that you're not sinking in the back leg or the front. You're balanced in the center, and then continue to let go through the spine. Deep Ujjayi breathing. Let go. One more. Now lift your chest halfway up. Fingers can be in a finger stand. Interlace your fingers behind your back again. Pull the knuckles down your back. Lift your chest halfway up. Put 1, 2, 3 weight into that front leg. And now lift the back leg up, warrior 3. So you're going to reach the crown of the head away from the heel. I like to think like I could hook my fingers or my palms onto the back of my heel. Keep rotating the inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Let the heart go forward. One more breath. And then come up to standing. Release the arms by your side. And just take a moment to feel. And again, that rush of prana. Smooth the breath back out. Okay, we'll do the other side here. So we're going to step the right foot back this time. And we're a little bit wider than we are typically for pyramid, but not quite as wide as we typically are for warrior 1. So we're about 3.5 feet. Front foot is straight, back foot is angled, hips are squared forward. Bring the arms out in front of you, palms together. Bend into your front knee, open the arms wide, inhale here. Feel that back bend opening up the body. Exhale, now squeeze and close the pages of your book, hugging the navel towards the back body, straightening the front leg. Again, inhale, bend. Exhale, close. Inhale, bend. Exhale, close. Good. 2 more, please. Notice your steady gaze, steady mind. Good. When you finish the last one, you're going to bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers, draw the knuckles down the back, open up the heart, and then bend into that front knee. And now feel warrior one here. Modified warrior one. Heart is lifting up towards the heavens. Gaze can be up or gaze neutral at the horizon line. Feel all that space in the heart as we reduce that thoracic curve, creating more room, more space. 2 more breaths. Press to the outside edge of your back foot. And now, leaning on the inside of that right leg, forward bend. Hands stay in Yoga Mudra in the back body. Hug the navel towards the spine. So keep the left hip pulling back, right hip around. Squeeze the inner thighs, head and neck is soft. 2 more breaths. Belly button hugs the back body. And now release the fingertips down on either side of the leg. Straighten the front leg. And now completely melt into your pyramid. Just let go. Use the warmth that you've generated. Imagine squeezing that midline of the body with the inner thighs so that the upper spine continues to soften. Very nice. When you're ready, you're going to come halfway up. So you want to bring the fingers in a finger stand. It feels like that monkey pose. Now, once you secure the back body, interlace your fingers behind you, pull the knuckles back, lift your chest a little higher, bring your body weight forward into that front leg, and now coming right into Warrior 3, flex the heel of your back foot. Imagine you could hook your hands onto that back heel, inner thigh lifts up towards the heavens. Continue to create length in the spine. Breathe deeply here. Gaze is steady. 1 more. Now slowly come up, find Samastiti, and rest. Just rest. Full, complete breaths. Even when we're trying in those balanced postures, we tend to shorten the breath, so return to smooth breathing. One more here. Okay, back at the front of your mat, bring your hands to your hips. This time we're going to step our right foot out to the side and line the front heel with the arch of the back foot, hips open to the side wall. So you're still pressing into the ball of the front foot, pressing to the outside edge of the back foot. We're still about 3.5 feet for triangle pose. Inhale your arms long. And then exhale, lengthen over that front leg. So really feel like someone's pulling your arm forward. When you can't go any further, hand to the shin, ankle, foot. Hook the index, middle thumb around the big toe, whatever's more comfortable for you. Right arm straight up in the air. All right, now sternum is still pulling away from pubic bone. We're creating that length in the spine. And really, triangle pose is a lateral posture. So we're going to extend the top arm up and over the head to just create a little more lateral stretch, a little bit more room along that right side of the body. Continue to pull the navel toward the back body, rotating it to the right, opening and leaning back with the chest. And then crown away from tailbone. So really making that space. 2 more here. Now maintain that length that you've created. Stretch just a little bit more through the elbow, and then slowly bring that arm all the way back behind you. Turn the hand like you're turning a doorknob. Take the back of the hand onto your sacrum, and now pull that right shoulder and see if you can get just a little deeper rotation of the navel to the right. So just a little more space in the heart. Good, one last breath here. And then right arm straight up in the air like someone's pulling you. Lift with that top arm, come all the way back to standing. And then just turn your toes in for a moment, hands to hips, and rest in a wide stance. Find smooth breathing. And we'll switch sides. So now right heel is in alignment with the left arch of the foot. And same thing too, we're about 3.5, so we haven't changed the length of the stance at all. Inhale the arms long. As you exhale, reach over that front leg. So we want to get the space in the spine before we go down. And then when you can't go any further, hand to shin, ankle, foot, floor, or hook the index, middle thumb around the big toe. So wherever you naturally land, that's where you're meant to be. Left arm straight up, fingers are together. This is the mudra for the posture. And now really working the crown away from the tailbone. You might find there's a difference between the right side and left. Continue to rotate the navel to the left as the chest leans back. Full, complete breaths here. And again, this is a lateral pose, so we're going to take that top arm over the head and just exaggerate that a little bit. So really reaching through that inner elbow. Pinky finger rotates down slightly. Do take the head of the shoulder into its socket. So as it pulls down into the socket, it still feels like an extension, but there's some support there for the shoulder. Navel's in, you rotate a little deeper to the left. Fill the left lung with breath. Now take that left arm back up in the air. Keep all that length that you've just made. Rotate it behind you, hand to the sacrum, and now lean back with the chest just a little more. So find just a little more space in the heart. That thoracic curve has been reduced. The navel is supporting the spine. And then left arm straight up in the air. Anchor into the feet. Come back up into standing. Turn your toes in. Hands to hips and rest. And if your stance got a little wide, you can heel toe in just a bit so it feels more secure. Slow, smooth breaths. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale, take your left hand in the center of your, right underneath your head. Right arm straight up in the air. Rotate the navel to the right. Inhale, come back up to standing. Exhale, take the left hand now towards the right foot. So you're going just in front of the toes or slightly in front of the toes. You can bend the right knee if you need to. Navel rotates to the right. Inhale, come back up. Now, if you've got the flexibility, you can take the left hand to the outside of the foot, fingers point towards the heel. Again, you can bend that right knee if you need to for flexibility. Rotate the navel to the right. And then inhale and come up. We're going to switch sides. So we'll start with the right hand underneath the face. Left arm up in the air. Rotate the navel. Feel the twist. Inhale, come back up. So when we have extension, the twist is more organic. Right hand now to in front of the toes. Rotate the navel to the left. You can bend that left knee if you need it. Inhale, come up. Now, right hand to the outside of the left foot. Fingers point towards the heel. The deepest one here. Knee is deeply bent if you need it. And then inhale and come back up. Now we're going to go back to that first side. So I want you to pick the one that makes the most sense for you. Where do you feel like you could get the fullest breath and yet the maximum space? And then move into the posture and stay. So inhale here as long as you can. Exhale, pull the navel in and rotate deeper to the right. Inhale just a little longer. Reach the sternum away from the hips. And then exhale, hug the abdomen in and actively pull it back, rotating deeper to the right. One more like this, please. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze, wring out. And then inhale, rise up to standing. Take a moment to rest here in the center with your hands on your hips. Good, other side. Inhale the arms long. And again, we're gonna go back to that side where you get the maximum space, but still a full, complete breath. So rotate to that place for your body. And now inhale, grow as long as you can through the spine. Exhale, hug the abdomen in, squeeze and rotate deeper. Inhale again, full breath. Even if you have to come slightly out of it to get the breath. And then as you exhale, squeeze and head just back into it a little bit deeper. One more. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to hips. And this time we'll just heel toe our feet all the way in to standing in Samasthiti if you'd prefer. Arms by your side and just rest. Again, return to that inner experience. Do you feel that fullness of prana flowing effortlessly through the body? Feeling the maximum height in the spine. One more here. Good. Back at the front of your mats, we'll take a vinyasa, so big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart, or feet hip distance if you prefer. Inhale, the arms reach up. Create all that height there in Urdhva Hastasana, and then exhale, forward fold over the legs, all that length. Inhale, monkey pose, all that space. And then exhale, step, or lightly hop back to plank position. Again, you can have knees lowered or lifted, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. But then from downward facing dog, we're going to move into plank. So if you need to bring knees to floor, that's okay. Inhale, come forward, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Keep your feet strong and firm, heels lifted both up and out. Now, in plank position, we want to have our body straight, but if we engage the abdomen in towards the back body, we might feel a little bit of that lift in the lower back. That activation of the core, very key for maintaining your strong, stable spine. Keep reaching into the hands. Lift that space behind the heart, nice and stable here, breathe. Welcome any shaking, just waking up the nervous system. Now, slide your left knee down to the floor, spin the toes flat, and spin the knee back, or toes back, and then come back up into standing, and turn your right toes in, preparing for gate pose. Right hand onto the thigh, inhale, the left arm reaches up, and now float down over that leg. Just feel all that space there. Freeing it up. Maybe getting deeper now that we've revisited these lateral postures several times. And then left arm's going to come down to the floor. Turn the toes so that they point towards the arch of the foot. And now come into variation number 1 of Vashisthasana. Again, we're reaching the hands away from one another, creating all that room in the front and back of the heart. One full, complete breath here. If you would like now, take your top arm over your head and extend your fingertips away from the outside edge of your back foot. Really press into the leg. So as you feel that foot anchoring, more room along the side body. One last breath here. And then rotate the arm down, come back into plank position, hover in plank again. So again, you want to make sure you're engaging that abdomen. Breathe deeply here. Keep hugging the abdomen in and up so that you actually feel a reduction in the lumbar curve. Now, bring the right knee down. Spin those toes back and come up to standing on the knee. Outside of the left foot is anchored, preparing for gate pose on this side. Inhale the right arm up. Parigasana as you float down here, softening over that left leg. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts, maintaining that long spine. Maybe going a little deeper in the lateral now. Can you get breath into a new area that you weren't getting it into before? Good. And then rise up with that right arm. Bring it underneath your shoulder. Turn your toes back in. So now they point towards the arch of the left foot. And then once you feel secure, lift the left arm straight up in the air and now reach the hands away from one another. So as much as you're anchoring into the earth, you're lifting through those fingertips. Steady breath here. Stay connected to the outer foot. And now take the top arm over the head and now really reach those fingers away from the outer foot. That long line of energy, like all that space. Remember, space equals health. When we have room, the energy flows. There are no blockages. There is no stagnation. And then bring the hand down, come back into plank position. Find your abdomen again here, nice and firm, nice and strong. And then knees to floor. We're just going to sit back tall on our heels and take a complete rest here. Hands in the lap. If you'd like, you can close your eyes or still keep that soft gaze. Dhyana Mudra. Mind in a one-pointed attention, ekagrata. Return to that smooth breathing. Chest, ribs, belly, belly, ribs, chest. Okay, we're going to stay in a position on our knees. You can certainly modify if you need to. You cross your right knee over your left knee and sit down on your heels, or excuse me, on your sit bones. Now, if you are tight in your shoulders, you may want to have a strap nearby. But to make sure we have the legs in the right position, we want the feet about the same distance on each side. So make sure those feet are equal, and then hand can go on the inner arch. Lift your hips up for a minute and wiggle back and forth. And that's just going to get those knees nice and tight together, and then you can lower the sit bones back down. You want to feel both of them into the ground. Then as you anchor down, lifting through the crown of the head, you can already feel the extension. And then if you want that support there of the strap, you're going to take the right hand behind you and wiggle it up in between your shoulder blades. Let your left hand come down around and drop the strap down to grab with the fingers. If you don't need the strap, then just grab your fingertips. Left elbow lifts up in the air, cow's face, Gomukhasana. Now, if you'd like, close your eyes for just a moment. Visualize your spine. Find your breath traveling along the spine. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Unobstructed. And now very subtly, almost barely at all, sway just a little bit from side to side. And as you do, notice if you can get a better sense of the center line of the spine. And when you do, hold it in your mind's eye and fill the spine with breath and light. One more. And to gently release, let your strap go if you were holding it or your fingertips. Open your eyes, cross your right arm over your chest. Hook the left arm under at the elbow and gently pull the right shoulder head down and away from your ear. Good, and gently release. We're just going to switch legs here so you can lean back, cross the left leg over the right, stack the knees. To get into that position, not only are the feet equal, but you're going to put your hands on the inner arch, lift the hips and wiggle, get them nice and tight together. Makes the posture easier, and then slowly lower the hips down, wanting to feel both into the earth. If you need that strap again, have it nearby. Left arm wiggles behind the back, in between the shoulder blades. Right hand drops the strap down, and the fingertips hold it. So right elbow lifts. We're getting a lateral stretch there as well. And then close your eyes when you feel ready. Return to the breath, the pulsation of breath, in and down, up and out. And then that very subtle swing from side to side, almost barely at all, to really get the visual in the mind of the spine, of the central channel. And then you can hold that in the mind when you feel that you have a good sense of it. And now fill it with breath and light, prana in the form of light. Jyoti Smati. Last one here. And you can gently release your strap. Gently bring your gaze back. Cross your left arm over the chest. Hook the right arm under at the elbow. And now push the head of the shoulder down and away. Very nice. And we'll release onto our backs. Bring the knees into the chest for just a moment, but feel the spine completely flat and long against the earth. So make sure the tailbone lengthens away from the crown, and even feel a very subtle lift of the lumbar spine. And then bring your feet flat, knees bent. If you like, you can gently reach for the backs of the heels and touch them with your fingertips. We're going to move in and out of dynamic bridge. Arms are down by the side to start. On your inhalation, press equally into both feet. Roll up through the spine. Take the arms up and over the head at the same time. And then exhale. Navel pulls in. Arms come down at the same rate that the spine slowly lowers all the way down, including the tailbone, really lengthening the lower back. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Peeling off the earth, arms reach. Exhale and slowly lengthen down, tailbone towards heels, fingers reach. Good, keep going, inhaling, exhaling. Remember your breath, smooth and even. Remember the pattern. And really feel here that as you inhale up and you're bringing that breath down towards the base of the spine, that we really expanded the lungs completely. And then on the exhalation, we're really engaging the abdomen first, even before we start the movement of coming back down. It's just the beginning of emptying out and lowering. Couple more here, please. Again, sometimes the slower you go, the more you're working, the more you're experiencing all the subtleties of the practice. Last one. Good. Rest for a moment. If you want to widen the knees and let them fall into one another, just settle. Now extend your left leg long to the floor. Hook the index middle thumb around the right big toe and straighten the leg, or you can reach for the calf if you prefer, or if you do have a strap nearby, you can always use the strap. Take your left hand down onto your left thigh and pull your right leg in as close as you can. Start to lift your chest off the earth. So as best as you can, reach the left fingertips towards your toes, continuing to straighten that hand down toward the leg, toward the knee. And then contract your abdomen towards your back body. So as you push it down towards the earth, maybe lift those shoulder blades just a little higher off the ground. Keep lengthening. Yes, it's a core strengthener here, so feel the work there. Mula and Uddiyana Bandha really help. Last one. And now slowly lower the head and keep the hand on the toes or the calf, and now take that right leg out to the side, left hand onto the hip bone, and look over your left shoulder. So just opening up that inner groin, inner thigh. Make sure your supporting leg stays straight and doesn't tilt out to the side. And as you draw the abdomen in and up on exhalation, notice how that supports this posture here as well, even though we have the spine on the earth. And then gently come back to center. And we'll lower, pointing the right toes, lower the right foot all the way to the floor. And then take a moment just to feel the difference between the right leg and the left. So completely settle. Feel all that extra space. All right, so now left leg comes up into the air. Hook the index middle thumb around the big toe, or grab onto the calf, or if you have a strap, use the strap. Lift up through the inner heel, so really engage and straighten that leg. And now start to pull that leg towards the chest as you lift your torso off the floor and reach your right fingers towards your toes. So imagine like you could touch your toes here. Contract your abdomen, pull the navel toward the back body, really anchoring. Breathe deeply here. Maybe the more you reach, the more you engage Mula, Uddiyana Bandha, and get that shoulder blade a little further off the earth. One last breath here. And then slowly lower the upper body down, right hand onto the hip bone. Now take your left leg out to the side, and now your gaze will go to the right. Gravity can do the work for you. Just let go. But keep the right leg stable, and also that slight drawing in and up of the navel is going to create just a little more give. It'll actually release the inner groin. Breathe deeply here. And then bring that leg back to center, release the bind, and then point your toes and extend, extend, extend all the way to the floor. Take your time. And now feel, just again, right leg, left leg, all the length and space. Okay, so I'd like to perform Tadaki Mudra. This requires that you utilize breath retention. So if you're not comfortable with breath retention, then we're going to demonstrate at first how to do this without the retention, which is a modified version. So interlace your fingers, push your palms away, take your arms over your head, and then exhale and bring the tops of the hands to rest on the head, elbows bent. So you want your legs together, feet flexed, internal rotation of the thighs. On the inhale, at first, we're going to follow that same pattern of breath. So inhale, chest, ribs, belly. As you do, push the palms away. Then as you exhale, really lift the pelvic floor, navel in and up. Start to lower the hands back down towards the head as you hug the navel in and up under the rib cage. And then go to your peak, but not retaining the breath. Again, on your inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Push the palms away, straighten the arms. Think of making as much space in the spine as you deepen the breath. Then on your exhalation, lift your pelvic floor, lower belly, middle belly, upper belly, rib cage, chest, as you lower the tops of the hands onto the head. So we'll just do that one more time together. Inhale, full breath in and down. Push the palms away. Complete exhale, starting in the pelvic floor. Push the breath out as the hands lower back down to the top of the head, but feel a hollowing out sensation in your abdomen as you engage that musculature. Now, if you're going to add in retention, it's the same thing. Inhale, the hands move away. Breath moves all the way down to the pelvic floor. Now you're going to keep the arms extended. Exhale all the breath out here, so empty as completely as possible. With the last little bit of breath held out, you're going to use that retention to now suck the navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, lifting those lower ribs, lifting the sternal notch. Continue to hold that Bandha, Mula, Uddiyana, Jalandhara, and then when you need to release, relax your abdomen first, lower the hands to the top of the head, and rest. It's helpful sometimes to take a recovery breath in between. Let's try that again. Inhale, reach the hands away, full breath in, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, get it all the way down there. Now, keep the arms extended. Exhale all the breath out, starting from the pelvic floor. Engage the lower abdomen, the rib cage, the chest. Empty every last little bit of breath out of the body. Now, hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. Hollow out the belly. And as the breath is held out, lift the lower ribs, lift the sternal notch towards the chin. Continue to reach the hands away from the feet. All that space and the engagement of the bandhas. And then when you need to relax, let the musculature go, lower the hands to the top of the head, and rest. Take a recovery breath if you need to. Okay, I just want to do one more together. Make sure we got the pattern, and then we'll do it on your own. This is a very personal practice. Again, inhale, full breath. Push the hands away. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. Bring in Treta Bandha. Lifting the pelvic floor, navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, sternal notch towards the chin. Hold the breath out. Create as much maximum length in the spine as possible. When you need to relax, let the musculature go and place the hands on top of the head. Okay, 3 more like this, please, on your own. Make sure you take a recovery breath in between. Good, we've got about 1 more here. Take your time, no rush. Deep practice. When you finish, you can lower your arms down by your side, palms face up, shoulder blades tuck underneath you. Minimize your movement. Coming from a deep practice like that, we're very internalized. And as long as there's no sensitivity in the lower back, you can just move right into Shavasana with all that extension remaining in the spine. If you need a little Apanasana, knees to chest to get comfortable, then please take that. Of course, a bolster underneath the knees is also helpful. So settling into your space, if you are in a lighted room, placing an eye pillow or a soft piece of cloth over the eyes. And now completely surrender the breath work that we've done. Just let the body find an organic rhythm of breathing. The more you settle, the more it'll shift into a perfect rhythm. Exactly what the body needs, nothing more, nothing less. Make sure you relax your jaw, slight part between the lips. And then just completely settle. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. As the breath comes in, feel the body effortlessly opening to receive that prana. Unobstructed. And then wiggle your fingers and move your toes. If you want to roll wrists and ankles. You can take the arms over the head and do one more good morning stretch. Just really extend, open up. And then curl over into your right side and just rest in fetal for a moment. Arm under the head as a pillow. And plant the right hand down into the earth. Slowly come back up into seated. And then if it's comfortable, we'll move back into sitting on the heels with the block. And if that's not, you can come into Sukhasana easy pose for a few moments here of pranayama meditation. Again, heels are slightly to the outside of the hips. Block supports you. Make sure that there's no discomfort. Sit with a tall spine, relaxed body. Absorb the tailbone in and lift through the crown of the head, feeling all that length we've created. Then close your eyes. So I'd like to practice some viloma. And this is a technique where we segment the breath. In this case, we're going to segment it into 3 parts, which we've been working with the whole time, which is the lungs, the rib cage, and the abdomen. And we'll breathe in for 3 counts, pause. That's filling the upper lungs. Then we'll breathe in for 3 more counts on the same inhale. And then that will pause in the rib cage. And then the last 3 counts will fill the diaphragm, which for most of us, our breath is a little bit shorter than that. So it would be a 9-count inhale. If you find that you get towards the abdomen and you run out of breath, then see if you can feel as if prana were still entering, even if no breath is entering. Then we're going to take a complete exhale, belly, ribs, chest, all smooth for the full 9 counts. And I'll talk you through this so you don't have to just do it on your own. So take a moment to return to smooth breathing. Continue the pattern we've been working with, chest, ribs, belly, exhaling, belly, ribs, chest. And this can be done with or without ujjayi. And take one more full inhale here. And now exhale completely. Inhale into the upper lungs for 2, 3, pause. Inhale the ribs, 5, 6, pause. Inhale the abdomen, 8, 9, pause. Exhale 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale the chest, 2, 3, pause. Inhale the ribs, 5, 6, pause. Inhale the abdomen, 8, 9, pause. Exhale the full 9 counts, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale the chest, 2, 3, pause. Inhale the ribs, 5, 6, pause. Inhale the abdomen, 8, 9, pause. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please continue on your own. Please complete the round you're on and do one more. And then when you finish, and there's no rush, smooth breathing, same pattern. Chest to belly, belly to chest, but no pauses. Now, as you're watching that breath travel in and down, exhaling up and out, begin to take what might feel like an expansion breath to a more narrow passage. So we're going to feel and see the breath travel specifically inside the spine, in and down, inside the spine, up and out. So we're moving it in towards the center line. And inhaling in and down through the central channel, Sushumna Nadi. Exhaling back up and out. And begin to see this breath that's traveling in the central channel as electric blue light. Again, we can have Ujjayi, or you can let Ujjayi go if you're very internalized, but still see this electric blue light traveling through the spine. Sensing the spine is filled with light. Now take that and turn it into a thread of electric blue light. Now this thread is the most concentrated form. Thread of electric blue light, descending on inhalation, ascending on exhalation. As it descends on inhalation, only allow it to go to the very base of your spine, not beyond. As it ascends on exhalation, only allow it to go to the point of the midbrain, or the third eye. So we're creating like an axis with 2 points at the base of the spine and the midbrain third eye. And in its confinement, in its concentration, it becomes even more potent. And now on your final breath here, as it ascends to the midbrain. Hold your attention now in the midbrain, release the technique, and see a point of electric blue light emanating within the midbrain. Continue to visualize, continue to sense, seeing and feeling this point of light, but relax all effort. Now lower your chin to your chest. Bring your hands to your heart. Begin to deepen your breath. And return to our intention, this idea of expansion. We can think of it from a physical, mental, emotional level, or we can go beyond even our own preconceived notions into a greater soul expansion, a greater expression on earth. Let's seal the practice with an Om. Deep inhale. Long exhale out. Inhale. With the deepest of gratitude for those who have come before us and have passed on these teachings, that we may practice them ourselves for the betterment of ourselves as well as the whole world. In the deepest gratitude to the divine for this life. Namaste. Hari Om.